Ever thought about how long is too long when it comes to staying in one job? And is it about the number of years you clocked in or about seizing new opportunities and staying adaptable? Welcome back to another brand new season of Women Talk. We are in season 5. We've got loads more exciting topics to discuss and a lot of exciting guests to discuss the topics with. And today we're going to focus on longevity in business, particularly exploring the journeys of women who've not only entered but thrive and maintain their careers throughout the decades. And I've got two amazing guests with me. We've got Haniza Hamza, one of the driving forces behind television and media industry.
Hi, Sazzy.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And I've got Datuk Yasmin Yusof with me. It's a pleasure to have you with me on the show. Yes, you are also a trailblazer in your own right, and you've been in the industry doing advertising, entertainment, DJ and whatnot, voice-over artist, singer and actress.
Pay me and I'll do it. That's my
Whatever you give me, I can do it. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's exciting to have you guys, and I cannot think of guests that are more appropriate to talk about this, because if we're talking about people, well, being in this industry, like for me, I can just share my personal experience. How do you stay relevant and how do you maintain your reputation or your career within one industry? So for me, it's about staying adaptable and understanding the changes within the industry. So I guess that's what we're going to be talking about and how you both have done so. What you believe has been the key to your own career longevity? We'll start off with you.
Yeah, in my case, I think, like you said, it's adaptability. Now, apart from adaptability, it's like being passionate in what you do and also being consistent in your area.
Okay.
So these are the three main core to stay long in the industry. I started as early as in the 80s.
Yes.
And I'm still surviving up to today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And would you say whatever you've started from the 80s till now, was it within the same industry? Just to give a little overview
Well,
of what you've done.
I started with radio, right? And then Radio Television Malaysia, if I'm allowed to say so, right? And then I went on.
You are.
Yeah, I went on to the international scene. I went to NHK Japan. I served with Radio Japan NHK for 5 years. Came back freelance a little bit, and then I came back, and now I serve the ABU for almost 20 years.
Yes.
The ABU is a union of Asia Pacific broadcasters and beyond. So yeah, so I've been in the industry. Well, I think close to 4 decades.
4 decades. And, there have been many changes within the industry. When we just talk about broadcasting, could you name like one major change that has happened and how you adapted yourself in that change?
Well, I think in adapting to any changes, I think you have to be open-minded.
Yeah,
all right?
I guess. And not stuck in one specific way.
Exactly.
Not, you'll drown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think you must also have that life learning attitude.
Yeah.
Right. So otherwise, you will be stagnant. In one area.
Very true.
With the digital era and also with technologies, you need to keep abreast with all that. Otherwise, you'll be left behind.
Yeah.
So I think it's regardless of your age. For you to keep abreast is to make yourself relevant in the industry.
That's true, and things are always going to change, and trying to stick to ways that used to work back then is not necessarily going to help you move forward.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's go to you, Dr. Yasmin. Like I said earlier on, you are a trailblazer. I got to know you personally, well, not personally, first, when you were handling a radio station. So, but prior to that, you've done so many things. You were in a beauty pageant, you've done advertising, you've
2 albums.
2 albums, you sang as well. I remember one time someone close to me was singing your song. Yes. So many things you have done, and I guess we're talking about a mix of skills here. How you went through all these different job scopes, but staying within the same industry. What were the things that you focused on in making sure that you had the skills or honing your skills for each specific jobs, and by staying relevant in that?
Well, I believe there's only one you, and only you can be you. And you have to be unique.
Yes.
And if you're unique, that means you have something nobody else has. And that is constant drive to ensure that you remain unique, especially now when life is just a switch of a button, you know, everything's on your phone, and there's no more having to look. I mean, in my time, you had to park your car and look for a phone, you know, a public phone to tell somebody you're going to be late.
Yes.
Right?
And you were actually more on time then.
Yeah, I think so. And communication also was slower, you know. We didn't have the #1 song in London, and maybe we had to wait a week.
Yes.
But now it's just, it's
Everything's
there.
so fast-paced now.
Yeah. And I think that to be able to keep up with that, I think in a way it's stressful because everything is, to me, a little too fast. You don't have time to stop and smell the roses, as they say. But it's also pushes you. It pushes you more because you cannot stop, you cannot wait, because there's always someone there to step into your footstep. So it's just a matter of self-improvement and learning. I agree totally with what you said. You have to want to learn all the time. You never stop learning, no matter how old you are, right?
Yes.
And then you were saying about what was the biggest major change. I think computers.
Yeah.
Technology.
Never mind about not mind about mobile phones, but you know, from playing a vinyl album, you know, which was fun, you know, listen, and now it's just. Where's the fun in that?
I know. Now it's just like, let's just search for it right there. It's there. But I think, it takes away the fun of like, hey, let's just put it on the vinyl, setting up the mood, everything. Yeah, it makes things a lot easier. Like, as both of you have been in industry, the entertainment industry, broadcast, I would say. You know, what has kept you going?
I think what is important is I keep on reinventing, you know, my skills. You know, I think when you want to be relevant in the industry and stay long for quite a while, so you have to keep on reinventing yourself, reinventing your skills, you know, so that you could relate to what's the current issues are, and then also you could also guide, you know, the new generations, you know, and show them. And then it's also, and one point of also, not only that you give your input to them, but also you need to receive, you know, the output as well. So it has to be two ways.
And then with you, Datuk Yasmin, you've, like I said, you've done many things. So when it comes, I remember you were doing radio, but then you also moved on to, but before that was advertising.
And don't forget, I had a casting agency.
You had a casting agency?
Yes. I discovered Aznil Nawawi.
Yes, Yasmin Hani, and all those people. It's amazing. And you did?
Yes.
That I did not know. But you know, when you were doing all these things, I mean, there were a number of years. How did you know when it was time to stop and do something else, do something new? What was it?
That's a really good question. You know, I had this casting agency for 12 years, and we were the biggest. We had the biggest billings, and we discovered everyone from Azri Iskandar, Zizi Izzet, all these people who were... Elaine Daly at the age of 14 in her school uniform.
Gee.
Yeah. And one day I realized that I had 2 new staff and I had not trained them.
Okay.
So then I realized I wasn't interested anymore. You know? Because I'm very hands-on, I'm very anal, and I'm very into detail. I'm very into detail. So then I realized that I wasn't as bothered anymore. It wasn't as important to me. Then I thought, okay,
and that was
time
about
to
12
close.
years of you doing that. Okay.
So then I said, okay, time to close.
Okay, we're going to continue the conversation, but we're going to go for a short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Women Talk. So earlier on, before the break, I asked you, Datuk Yasmin, you know, when is it time, or how do you know, what sort of signs do you look for to know that it's time to leave? So I want to present a question to Haniza Pula. You know, how do you know it is time to leave?
Well,
when it's time to move on?
Yeah, when I feel that my actions and my values are off track, you know, then I said, I need to do something. And then when I see that, you know, something very minor irritates me, you know, it becomes a big issue, right? I will say, no, I need to reflect. you know. So those are signs that I think I need to move forward. I need to change, right? So otherwise, it's like I'll be left behind.
Yes.
You know, I was like, wow, what else to do? Because I've been in the industry for quite a while. You know, if I, like I said much earlier, if I don't keep abreast with the changes, you know, it's going to be difficult.
But I guess what's important within it, when it comes to doing that, is also fostering like an environment or a supportive system around you. How important teamwork is when it comes to overcoming challenges?
I think what is important is we need to keep the communication open, right, in the team, right? Okay. Apart from that, we need to have a kind of team-centric culture.
Okay.
You know, so that everybody has got a role to play, regardless of your hierarchy in the organization, because we need to get our team players like, okay, you are not, you know, you're not my junior staff, and you're not my superior, right? Everybody are partners.
Okay.
So when you are partners, you know, you have to.
Teamwork. That's a real team.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I've been, like, you know, make the communication open, you know, and react promptly to issues, and then those are the kind of thing. And then you need to be within positive people, right? When you're within positive
Choosing
people,
the people who to be on your team is also very important. Yeah, because you want people that bring you up as well. So I guess when you take away hierarchy and have an open communication, that's when, no matter what the challenge is, you're able to overcome it as a team. So how do you go about in fostering this team? You know, it's number one, you said about choosing the people. What else?
I think it's also about you need to encourage your team members, you know, to find their own strength. Right? I mean, of course, everybody have their strengths and weaknesses, right? Forget about your weaknesses. You know, sometimes it's from the weaknesses you get your strength. For example, right? When a couple of years back, when I was asked to do a song festival, the ABU TV Song Festival, you were involved with the much earlier song festival of the ABU. So when I was given the task, you know, I was like, you know, the Secretary General of the ABU to say, okay, bring a proposal. I need the proposal within a week. It's crazy because you need to do a song festival that involve the Asia Pacific countries.
A festival?
Yes.
Within a week?
A proposal.
I thought a song within a week was already crazy.
A proposal. So it's
proposal,
like, I was cursing like nobody's business. But then again, when I look back, now it's in its 13th year, I say, wow, I didn't realize I have that strength in that area. So for me, it's like,
push comes to shove. Suddenly,
you know, so it's like you need to point certain strength and weaknesses and play that part, you know, and then also look at within the team. You need to encourage each other, you know, how to overcome challenges, you know, because with challenges there are a lot of opportunities. You know, sometimes you don't see it.
If you have one common goal and everybody has to contribute to this common goal, then everyone should be sharing what they're doing. But I think it's very important, once somebody is given their responsibility, they need to own it. And you have to allow them as a team leader to own them. For many years, I was a control freak. I wanted to do everything myself, everything, and I never allowed anybody to, you know, everybody had to.
How did you learn to let go then?
Because I knew that if I didn't allow people to make mistakes, they would never learn, and they wouldn't be able to progress, and they would be forever my slaves, you know. I mean, so I came to the realization that I have to value everyone and allow them to make their mistakes, and then they learn.
I love where this conversation is going. But we're going to go for a quick break, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, guys. Welcome back to Women Talk. Let's go to Datuk Yasmin first. Let's talk about the importance of diverse skill sets and experiences. You know, how do you recommend women to go about acquiring new skills or these skills, especially if they've been in the same role for a long time?
Diversify, diversify. Challenge yourself all the time. Educate yourself. I say it's you never stop learning.
Yes.
And I think the more you know, your knowledge is also a weapon, not just your experience.
For sure,
you know your knowledge. So if you know more than the other person, that's already an advantage for you, not just your experience. And you don't have to have a lot of experience, but if you have a lot of knowledge, you can still succeed, I believe. Anyway,
it will help you in that one skill that you have.
Yes, and I think that now everything is so intertwined and interconnected that you can't just work in a silo. Like I said, you have to know a little bit more about everything else, you know, and you have to look at your. I guess you need a roadmap. You need to look at where you're going, what you need to know along the way, and make sure that you prepare yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I say you never stop learning.
Very true. And I'd like to add on to that, because I think once upon a time, a long time ago, people were taught to like only have just one skill and only focus on that. Nowadays, having a set of different skills will contribute to that one particular job that you do. Like for me, staying relevant is going for trainings.
And you know, you'll be surprised by what you can learn.
True.
And how it can change you and improve you. Yeah. When I see a lot of competition, especially from much younger people, say for example in MCing, right? So I need to sit down and write my CV and have my long experience and send it out to everybody and make sure that people know you are still there, you're still working, you're still available. You know, I think that's very important, because otherwise you get
you can't just wait for things to happen.
Overthrown by
get out there.
you know, all the new people come out and suddenly they're like flavor of the day, and then everyone forgets about you. So it's important not to be forgotten.
Yes,
and it's not easy.
It's not easy. Staying relevant is not easy. And also learning about like where I can relate is the world has changed when it comes to the entertainment world has changed. You know, now it's about social media. And then how do we now learn? You know, I'm with you where I'm like, okay, social media is kind of new. Obviously, there's a lot of tricks that the younger generation know, and then that's how they get ahead. So it's about adapting to that as well.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. It's not. I suppose you can say you can't beat them, join them.
Yes.
But I think if you can't beat them, be better.
Be better or hire younger people to be on your team to help you in the social media, which I kind of did. But again, that's where you foster a team that you know can help you succeed your goal.
Yes.
Yeah. But let's just go to Haniza before we end the show. You know, how have you personally adapted your career trajectory to stay relevant and competitive? You know, do you see yourself embracing and succeeding in this new era of work now compared to say when you first started?
Well, I embrace learning new knowledge, right? Because for me,
especially in your field,
because I feel that when you are in this industry, I think you know you need to learn, you know, a lot more. You know, when working with the Asia Broadcasting Union, you're dealing with Asia Pacific members and beyond, and it's like a diverse group. You know, so the working culture and the mindset is different. So you need to adapt accordingly. So in the beginning, that was quite a challenge. But as you go along, you know, you found that, wow, you know, it's so colorful, you know, and it's so beautiful. And then you try to relax a little bit, you know. So I think that's the beauty that we must have, that passion. We must always keep that passion alive, you know, to have this life learning thing in you, so that you know you don't feel small. You know, because you are your own brand. You know, you have to create your own brand. You are your own product. So if
you're unique. No one else is
like
you.
You said much earlier.
And you should not and cannot fight change. You know, you have to go with the flow, or you know, you have to keep up. You cannot fight change.
Because I agree with you when you say you cannot fight change, because in changing you sometimes find a lot of opportunities. You know? So that's the beauty of it.
Pivot.
It's always pivot. Even when you own a business, when it's not working, pivot.
I think what is important is like we need to have a network, you know, where women could communicate with each other, where you know we can create a community, you know, where there are role models, they could learn from.
Look at role models,
right?
find role models.
Yeah, find role models, share challenges that they went through. So I think this is how you have that growth in you, So always keep yourself relevant.
Yes.
And I think you need to believe in yourself. Why you came into this industry in the first place is because you believed that you had this skill.
Yes.
And you can't let somebody else knock you over and say, oh, no, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
You have to believe that you have this skill,
Yeah.
I mean, I spent a lot of time taking knives out of my back, so there's a lot of scars there. So, and if I didn't believe in myself and believe that I am good enough, I would not have lasted this long.
Yes. Exactly. Yes.
Also, my credit card bill. But you see, it's just wanting to be better. And I always tell, as a matter of advice, you don't ever want to be number one. Because there's only one way to go after
Down.
you want to be number two.
You want to keep
because
climbing.
you always want to be number one. Yeah.
Ladies, it's been really lovely having both of you, and thank you so much for sharing your experiences, your insights, your advice. It's been wonderful. What a great way to kickstart season 5 of Women Talk. Don't forget to catch us next week on Women Talk as well. And thank you for watching episode 1 of Women Talk.